Hi everyone, this is Jason Burack of Wall Street for Main Street. I'm just going to do a short video today talking about some current events, but first I want to wish everyone who's an American happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're getting to be with the ones you love, your family and friends and other loved ones. And I'm also thankful for you guys. So, I don't have everything I want yet. I'm still a hardworking entrepreneur. We haven't gotten all the advertising deals I was expecting. It's been an uphill journey to get this far. I've overcome a lot of things in my life. Those of you who've been loyal listeners to the channel for many years, you know I had an enormous amount of health problems in 2015. I had to overcome them. It was a lot of hard work. Thank you for the very kind emails. You guys were helping me along the way to keep moving forward. But yeah, I'm very thankful for the audience and to keep growing in the opportunity. Hopefully there will be more opportunities for me in 2017. Hopefully YouTube and Twitter and Facebook won't take down all of our posts, and the censorship levels, guys, are just getting unbelievable. This Charles Ortel interview that I released yesterday is probably going to get fully demonetized. So if you guys want to give us some donations, that would be great. We're going to keep working to come out with excellent content. But, YouTube, YouTube's owned by Google or Alphabet or whatever the hell name they're going to change it to, which is, in cahoots basically with Hillary Clinton. This world is being really unfair. A lot of you guys are familiar what's happened with Spirit Cooking and Pizzagate, how Reddit and Twitter are removing all these guys and shadow blocking people. It's well documented now, unfortunately, what's happening. So, I'm just thankful for the opportunity to still have some free speech left, although, although now, unfortunately, it looks like this is going to be taken away from the independent media. I'm glad Hillary Clinton didn't win. Hillary Clinton was going to go after people like Drudge and Alex Jones and Breitbart and people like myself in the independent media, and they're calling it fake news now, which is just totally ridiculous. I mean, look at how one-sided and totally unobjective the mainstream media is. Okay, so I just want to talk about a few things. So now, guys, because of this correction in the gold price, paper gold price, the Dow has now outperformed gold for the year. Just crazy stuff. And I was listening to the McIlvaney Weekly commentary today because I love that. David McIlvaney is one of the smartest, most rational, level-headed people in our industry. Second-generation money manager. He was groomed to take over the family business. He's read hundreds and hundreds of books, started off at a very young age reading and learning from his father, Don, and his mother, who, were stockbrokers on Wall Street and in the financial industry during the 1960s and 70s, saw the U.S. was headed down a bad path, built a bullion business up from nothing, and were able to import gold before the U.S. officially legalized gold again for American citizens. And then they also run a money management business too, with stocks and bonds and other investments besides owning a successful bullion business. Anyways, though, I was listening to his podcast, which I highly recommend, his weekly commentary, you guys subscribing to, and he mentioned something today that last week there was a record amount of capital inflow, the largest ever, of, I guess this is American retail, American citizens came into those markets. As you can see on my screen, I put this on the Wall Street for Main Street Facebook group. I'll attach it to a link. If you guys want to come into this group, it's free. There will be no spamming though. So if you want to discuss investment ideas or questions about markets or the economy, we can share information in there, news stories, no spamming though. Okay, anyways, though, guys, it's just amazing, though, about the psychology of investors. People ask me, what types of books should I read to learn about business and investing? Psychology books are important, investor psychology. And one of the things that we learned is that, when the blood was on the streets for the stock market, 2008, 2009, my parents had a lot of losses in investing in the stock market then. They inherited, when my grandfather passed away and my grandmother died too, they inherited a lot of bad, they inherited mortgage-backed securities, guys, in 2008, 2009. I had to help my parents clean that shit up. It was unbelievably bad, the garbage they were in. But, when the market crashed and there was blood on the streets in 2008, 2009, that was the time to buy up quality stocks. Because I was looking at things, I was starting to wake up as a libertarian Austrian school type and saw that the Fed was going to intervene. When I saw the banks get the accounting rules changed, I knew that they were going to start propping the banks up and try to re-inflate the markets with all kinds of tricks. So I knew that there was stocks that could go up a lot. Buffalo Wild Wings was one of our winners. That stock went up sevenfold. We bought it, I think, at $20 in 2008 or 2009 when the blood was in the streets. It went up to over 140 at one point. So we picked out a lot of winners, and my dad and I did, and he took a lot of my input. Gold and silver have been a lot of manipulated, but stocks have gone up. But this just goes to show with the psychology of investors, a lot of investors, and I use that term loosely, investors in air quotes, are really lemmings. A lot of Americans are not very disciplined investors, so they chase higher highs. This is what we have now. We have the Dow basically at all-time highs, and we have $27 billion in mutual fund retail money going into stocks now, leaving the bond market, going into stocks, chasing it higher. This is basically the exact same type of thing that happened in 2006, 2007, in the real estate market when people thought that they could get rich quick. So you have those types in there. Now, you do have the central banks on the other trying to protect asset markets from falling. But now that Donald Trump has won, the mainstream media, first of all, now they're not going to do Trump any favors. I think they're going to try to get Trump impeached very quickly. They're going to try to blow up every single scandal into a Watergate or larger. Any tiny little thing, any tiny little thing, they're going to try to blow up into a scandal to get Trump impeached. So any little mistake that they perceive that Trump makes, and it's going to be every day, they're going to try to blow it up into a scandal to get Trump impeached. It's just ridiculous. And, the goal for them, the mainstream media, is to limit Trump's damage, and I use damage in air quotes again because I don't view it as damage, but the globalists, the central planners, these left-wing wackos, they view it as damage to their long-term plans of, one world government, one world currency, George Soros type open borders. That dude, George Soros. By the way, guys, if you want to nominate people for 2016 Scumbag of the Year, also make posts underneath this video. I think George Soros is going to win it. I would be shocked if he didn't win it. Hillary Clinton will probably finish in second, but if you have any other nominees for 2016 Scumbag of the Year, go ahead and vote. But George Soros has just done so much damage to color revolutions in the global economy. He's funding all these protests. I think Donald Trump, what he should do is he should seize George Soros' U.S. assets. He should bust this dude, George Soros. Even though he's a billionaire, he should not be above the law. George Soros is committing treason. He's committing sedition, inciting these violent riots and protests. It's really unbelievable. Okay, well, I went a little bit off on tangent, but yeah. So the investor psychology of most people, unfortunately, is they don't have the intestinal fortitude, the discipline, the emotional discipline to have a long-term plan for investing and do good research and look for buying quality assets when they are cheap. And thinking, a couple years out. And that's how people really make a lot of money, is they make a lot of money when they buy. Most people, even professional investors, struggle to sell at the right times. Now, a lot of these technical analyst guys and trend traders say, I can time it when I can sell perfectly. A lot of them are false claims. But a lot of people make the most money as a long-term investor when you buy an asset. So, it was very easy in 2008, 2009. There was lots of blood on the streets. There was lots of quality companies making cash flow. Starbucks coffee, I wrote a research report on this when I was in my MBA program during 2008, 2009 crash. And everyone in my group in the MBA program said Starbucks was awful. No one would pay $5 a cup for coffee anymore. I was like, look, they're going to close down all these stores. The Howard Schultz was coming back in as CEO. They're going to turn the company around. They're going to cut costs. Their customers are going to say, you know what? I like going in there, getting my cup of coffee every day, reading. It's relaxing, and it saves me time. And ultimately, it allows them to be more creative with their time to maybe get some work done rather than, make the coffee themselves or do all that other stuff. So I was saying them closing stores, there would be efficiencies. That stock went from $13 a share, I believe, to 50-something, and it increased the dividend. So, there will be opportunities if we have a stock market crash for that again. It's tough to say, though, if they actually will allow a stock market crash, although now that Trump's won, I think they may actually, let the market crash and then blame it on Trump, and that would give them the opportunity to, say that, it was Trump's fault, it was Trump's supply-side economic policy, and it increased the debt too quickly, blah, 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 blah. And, Trump is just inheriting an enormous freaking mess. I mean, you could go to Zero Hedge and look which is being labeled fake news, which is totally ridiculous. And just look at the stories about the global economy. The global economy, guys, is collapsing. It's they call it a recession. The government economists are going to say, oh, we're going to be in a recession soon. But, that's not the right word for it. This is a great article. I'll put a link to it. Eric Dubin on Welcome to Dystopia Shows has talked about the plate spinning analogy. One of Deutsche Bank's analysts says the plate spinning era is over. I don't fully know about that, but it's becoming more and more difficult. We are in an economic minefield. So these central bankers, they have such a horrible track record, and we know their models from the Pippa Malmgren interview I did a couple months ago in September are total BS. They're admitting that they're broken, although Janet Yellen and the upper people at the Federal Reserve aren't going to admit that. The other people in the Federal Reserve are. I think basically, guys, unfortunately, the best case scenario I see going forward for the United States specifically, and a lot of the global economy, is worsening stagflation. But there's a lot worse that can happen than just that. So, at this point in time, if there is worsening stagflation, there will still be new technologies. Here in the Wall Street for Main Street fan page, I posted a pretty cool one. If you guys, there's a small origami nanotech robot that can just do these amazing things. So there's still going to be these amazing technologies coming forward that are still going to be invested in. There's a lot of amazing biotech stuff that's coming out as well. These technologies are kind of insulated compared to a lot of the other economy from, worsening stagflation coming in the real economy or worse. But I mean, the stuff with the banks, guys, is just getting worse and worse. We're going to get to a head here in the next 2 or 3 years. Eric Dubin and I have been talking about this. Eric Dubin thinks next year. I've said last year on my interviews on X22 Report and Spotlight interview and also SGT Report, I said about 2 or 3 years. People said, oh no, it would happen much sooner. People are like, you're crazy. It would happen in 6 months. We don't have that long. And yet, look, the powers that be have figured out ways with currency swaps and other tricks to keep this thing going a lot longer than we thought. They can't keep this thing going forever, but, now that they have Trump, now that Trump is in power, and I don't think he's fully playing ball with the elites, hopefully he doesn't compromise things, but we know that the elites are fighting him every single step of the way. Especially, the people here in D.C., the parasite class. There's an enormous parasite ruling class here in D.C. A lot of them are bureaucrats. A lot of them are lobbyists. A lot of them are think tank members or NGO people. A lot of them make 6-figure salaries. They live in the Falls Church area, and they have all these hardcore progressive rules and regulations and all these other tickets and taxes. It's just really unbelievable. But yeah, they almost always vote Democrat. Even during the election, D.C. voted 93%. Washington, D.C. voted 93% Democrat. So it's just really crazy, guys. We've got the war in India. I wanted to talk about that. I'll put a link to this too. Surviving the Economic Collapse in Cashless Society in India. Luke Rudkowski, We Are Change. You guys want to see what's really going on. These people, these central planners, I don't know if they really realize that thousands of people are going to die, if they don't care, or they think it's for the greater good. But these central bankers and these other scumbags, either there's unintended consequences or it's moral relativism and they don't really care. But thousands of people are going to die due to, the banning of small bills in India. And we've heard, you can watch the video, there's people waiting in line just for cash for ATM to buy food. It's because India is mostly a cash society. There's not a lot of credit cards and stuff. Although there is credit, but you have to go to the business and ask for credit and you put your name down. It's not, debit card, credit card, things like that. Yeah, so I think that's basically it, guys. The other thing was the bullshit study about the election. The statistical guys are now coming out and saying that that Hillary Clinton should have actually won 3 more states, that Donald Trump's team is the one that did election fraud. That's just totally ridiculous. They should speak to Bev Harris, who is a liberal Democrat, and she says that Hillary Clinton actually stole 5 states and that the election of 2016 should not have been close at all. We know Hillary stole Virginia. Because Terry McAuliffe, who's been friends with the Clintons, governor of Virginia, but he's been friends with the Clintons and is a board member of the Clinton Foundation. He's been friends with the Clintons for decades, and he's a board member of the Clinton Foundation. So, guys, I mean, the mainstream media, I just love how Trump chewed him out. It's hilarious. But unfortunately, guys, the mainstream media is not going to give up because they believe in these long-term globalist, central planning, progressive, Saul Alinsky, rules for radical bullshit stuff. That's basically totally evil. Saul Alinsky, actually, I think in his book, Rules for Radicals, I think he put a what's that term? Okay, I'm just drawing a blank now. Anyways, Saul Alinsky, he dedicated. Yeah. So Saul Alinsky dedicated his book to the devil. He called the devil the first radical. Unbelievable. Well, we know with spirit cooking and Pizzagate and the other bullshit that a lot of these guys, don't believe in God. They pretend to be Christians or and they really don't believe in God at all, or they worship the devil. So these guys are all fuckers. Okay, well, on a brighter side, thank you everyone for watching this video. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll continue to crank out content after the holiday. Everyone have a happy holiday, and submit your 2016 Scumbag of the Year nominees below the video. Okay, bye. Hi, everyone. It's Jason Burack of Wall Street from Main Street. Thanks again for tuning into our podcast and for helping us get over 2 million views on our YouTube channel and over 10,000 iTunes downloads per month. We have a special offer for our Wall Street for Main Street listeners that has proven to be a good investment based on plenty of 5-star reviews from satisfied customers and independent fashion bloggers. Mo and I recently tried some shoes from a new company which is run by a family of third-generation shoemakers called Grant Stone Shoes. These are classic Goodyear Welt shoes using full-grain leathers from world-renowned tanneries. In a world filled with disposable products, it can be difficult to find items which can be used for years and later passed down to the next generation. Grant Stone is a smaller brand going direct to the consumer, which offers unprecedented value. Quality and fit is the cornerstone of their program, and the customer response and reviews confirm this. These are high-quality shoes at a good price for the busy professional who wants to improve their appearance at the office, in the boardroom, or out on the town with your girlfriend or wife. Or, if you're single like me, you know you will look good with these shoes on and maybe impress the ladies with your style and taste. But, if the ladies love Obama or Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders and hate free markets or capitalism or entrepreneurs, at least I will look and feel good in my comfy Grant Stone shoes. Mo and I have worked out a special offer for our listeners. So when you go to grantstoneshoes.com, enter the code GOLD, that's GOLD, for 10% off any purchase. That's grantstoneshoes.com and enter promo code GOLD.